I'm Sal.
I'm Beth.
We are the Brewery Lovers. Hey, we're back. Look, I got a new hat. I got a new Ludlam Island hat because the old one was, boy,
Disintegrating.
That hat's been to how many states? 38 or something? Probably more.
Probably.
Many miles on that hat. Anyway, brand spanking. Yeah, there you go. The FAQ episode, we thought. One of the FAQs is, how long have you been doing this? How long have we been doing this?
About 2.5 years.
Because I have no idea. 2.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do we start? Oh, beer.
Yeah, let's start with beer.
Good idea. I think that's probably good advice no matter what you're doing. Start with beer. Well, unless you're driving. Thank you.
It's Pushing Bubbles from Ludlam Island Brewery.
Very nice. This is one of Ludlam's pale ales.
It's not very pale.
It's not very pale. It's actually very coppery.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like copper hat. Interestingly enough. I'll show them the can. American pale ale, right? That's what they call it. But it is rather coppery. But that's appropriate. Sierra Nevada is pretty coppery like that.
It is.
It's very nice, this beer. 2.5 years living in an RV. And when you live in an RV, you get a lot of people just come up to you and start asking you questions.
2 minutes ago at the gas station.
Yeah. What were hers? Are they on our list?
Is there a bedroom in there? Is there a bathroom in there?
Mm-hmm. The answer is yes, we have a bedroom. It has a queen bed. Well, it's really two twins.
But we modified.
Yeah, it's two twins, which you can kind of sort of make into a queen. The nice thing about the ekko bed is that you don't have to assemble it every time you use it, which was part of our purchase decision.
Yeah.
Because that can be a pain in the neck. Like you want to go
when you're tired, you just want to go to bed.
You just want to go to bed. You don't want to like build things. Do we have a bathroom? Yes, we do.
Yes.
And in fact, the ekko is unique in that it has a European-style cassette toilet. And it's super easy to get to empty. Like, it's just ridiculous. It takes like 90 seconds. And the nice thing about the cassette is that anywhere you can go legally yourself, you can dump that cassette. It's quick, it's easy, and if you use the right chemicals, which we do, it's like, doesn't stink. It's great. We like it. A lot of people are nervous about the cassette.
Yeah, they're intimidated by it.
But if you have
compared to having to get out of Stinky Slinky,
every time
find
a dump station. Dump stations can be difficult to find, and it's like, don't really need it if you have a cassette. So we do use them on occasion, especially for the gray. And if you want to do a deep cleaning or whatever, anyway, that's way too much information about the toilet.
Too much information.
However, it is probably one of the most frequently FAQs.
Especially from other people who have campers, because they just can't imagine how free we can be, because they assume we have to be at a campground regularly to get electricity, to get water, to take care of our wastewater.
The other one is, how do you shower? Because this is a pretty small rig, and I think people sometimes think it's more like a van. A lot of vans don't have showers.
Right.
But one of the great things about the ekko is the shower is really ingenious. It's a dry shower, which means the toilet and the stuff that's around doesn't get wet when you shower.
You don't have to move the toilet paper every time you shower.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they call a wet shower in the RV business, apparently. But ours is dry, and it's great. It does take some work. How many steps did you figure?
I think there's 39 steps.
39 steps to take a shower.
To take a shower.
Subject of a future video. So, but it does take some work. We also have a phenomenal water heater. It's a Truma. It's a German thing. And you turn it on and the water's hot. It's instant hot
Almost
water.
instantly.
Yeah, it's nothing
Seconds.
literally, it's nothing like the old Suburbans, RV water heaters that you had to wait like you would a water heater in your house. You had to wait for the water to heat up. Not anymore. Not with the Truma.
No, it's so quick.
So they did a lot of things right with the Ekko. Hot water's definitely one of them. How much did it cost? That is often the first question. Which, I don't know. In my view, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, like I would never say to somebody, "Oh, how much did your house cost?"
Yeah, but people ask us that all the time.
They do. Because a lot of people are inquiring because they're interested. They fantasize about
Right.
doing this, and they don't know how much of a barrier the cost is going to be.
So I usually say, well, that doesn't really matter because the question is, what do they cost now?
Yeah,
And
it's not the same.
those
as when we
numbers are
bought
different. I will tell you that it cost more than our first house,
It did.
which we bought in, 1988?
Yeah.
87, 88?
February 88.
88, yeah. Anyway, times have changed. This one blows my mind. May I see it? People just want to come in and take a tour.
They do. They just knock on the door or see us out and say, "Would you mind if we walked through?"
And I don't really mind because we're used to it.
Most of the time we don't. Frequently I will offer if people are really
Well, that's
interested.
different. Yeah.
But yeah, people do specifically ask.
But when the ones that ask, I always think, would you knock on somebody's house and say, "Oh, I noticed this is a 3-bedroom ranch. Do you mind if I have a tour?"
Because I'm thinking about buying it.
I'm thinking about buying a 3-bedroom ranch, and I really want to see your house. No, they would never do that. But they feel okay doing it with an RV.
They do.
It's very strange. Living in an RV is somewhat strange on some accounts. What kind of gas mileage do you get? Everybody asks that. The answer is about 14 on a good day, if it's not too hilly.
Yeah, your mileage
So
may vary.
Your mileage may definitely vary. How long have you been retired? Yeah, we're not. We pulled the trigger on this during COVID, when COVID was, I don't know, COVID made working as a pharmacist pretty ugly, and it was ugly to begin with.
So I retired from that career.
Mm-hmm.
But started a whole nother career.
In the brewery business?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
bartending and working in a restaurant.
She loves working in a brewery. And I'm still a commercial writer, and Beth also works for me when I'm busy. So we're not retired. We have Starling, which you have to build, which is kind of a pain. This isn't really an FAQ, but I was thinking about it. It's like all this stuff you have to build, like 39 steps to take a shower. When I need to work, I need to build my office. I have to get out my computer. I have to power it up. I got to get out many of my accessories, peripherals, hard disks. If I need high-speed internet, I have to build the Starling system, which is not that big of a deal. It takes 10 minutes. It takes 10 minutes to set up the office, maybe less. But that's pretty much every time. You can't just leave stuff on the table, desk, plugged in, because you need the...
Because he needs to unbuild it so we can have dinner.
We can have dinner. Yes, it's a very small multi-purpose desk/table. Anyway, Starlink works everywhere, which is nice. We also have a hotspot, which works in a lot of places. But if you're in like a national park or on BLM land in the middle of nowhere, and your cell phone doesn't work, Starlink will work. It only doesn't work if you're under heavy tree cover.
Yeah, it needs to see the sky.
Mm-hmm. Pretty reliable. We have apps for water and places to stay, right? So that usually works. Not always, because sometimes you get to the water tap and it's shut off because it's winter time or whatever. But generally speaking, and boondockers welcome. We'll often give you water. We're really not campground people, so we belong to an organization called Harvest Host, which is farms, wineries, breweries, golf clubs, museums, churches.
Private homes.
Private homes is part of it. That's the
Boondockers Welcome.
Boondockers Welcome, which used to be a separate thing. Harvest Host took it over. And the nice thing about Boondockers is you can often get water and even electricity if you need it.
They're embracing that at Harvest Host now as well.
They're starting to do that.
Yep.
We have apps. We have iOverlander.
That's the one I use the most.
That's the one that we probably use the most because that
and
one
that
shows
tells us where to find the Walmarts, the Cracker Barrels, the rest stops,
the BLM land, you name it. Plus water, laundry,
water, dump stations,
stations, RV repair.
Yeah.
It's a really good app.
It's a great resource. And it's crowdsourced. So if somebody finds a place, they add it to the list and you get reviews and comments from other campers.
We went for water, but there is no water. That kind of thing. With the water was good and it was no problem. So whatever. It's a good app. We make our own for the most part. Not campground people, really not. So we don't depend on that. We had how many ways to make power?
4?
Solar, engine, Balmar, generator, and plugging into shore power. We had 4.
There are 3 weapons: fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency.
Only 2 of them work. Because it's the one place Winnebago doesn't do very well is anything electrical.
I think it's run by Amish.
We think the electrical department is run by Amish. So when you're driving down the road, you have 2 alternators on the engine. One charges the big house battery that runs everything that you do in your house with electricity. We have an inverter which inverts that to 120 volts AC. So we're constantly needing to charge that battery. Not a problem when they refer to it as the Balmar system because some of the components are made by a company called Balmar. That has pretty much worked only half the time.
Less than half of the time that we've owned.
Yeah, it's been a real problem, and it's unfortunate because it's the one we depend on the most. We can plug into shore power if we find a campground or a place to plug in. We can run the generator, which is kind of not so good. It's smelly and it's noisy. And we had a solar panel system, which is also broken. Actually, it's not. Ours works great, but it's under recall. And Winnebago has asked all the ekko owners to disconnect the solar panel system because there's a fire risk. So we have done that because you don't want to not do it and then have a problem.
Right.
And then, but we got a guy. We got a guy in New Jersey. Thank God when we're in New Jersey. Justin. So Justin and I recently installed a DC-to-DC charger, which uses the Ford truck alternator to charge the battery in the back. So we now finally have a system backing up the Balmar, which breaks all the time, which is great because now, as I said, that's the one we depend on the most.
And we've had it repaired 3 times?
Well, we took it to Connecticut.
Our chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Fear and surprise. Our 2 weapons are fear and surprise.
Yeah.
The first time. Well, we took it to the dealer the first time. They thought they fixed it and they didn't. Then we took it to Connecticut because there's a specialty shop in Connecticut. Fixed it for real. Then we took the ekko to Iowa to Winnebago's mothership factory service. They broke it.
Yes, we asked them not to touch it, but they touched it.
They touched it. They broke it. And then we took it to Las Vegas. They fixed it. Did a beautiful job. They really did. But it broke again. Didn't last because there's issues with this. The components are good. But there's something about the way Winnebago engineered it that the components can't take it. They fry, basically. So that's still a work in progress. Did you build that thing? Because we took all the logos off.
Yeah, we did. We unbranded it.
We debranded it. So that
there's still one big W.
There's a big W up on the roof. Yeah. No, we did not build it. It's a Winnebago.
But he fixes things pretty much every day.
In this?
Yeah, there's...
Not every day.
All right.
Every week.
Every week there's something that needs to be repaired, because as you're driving down the road and going over bumps and going over railroad tracks, it's like living in your house and experiencing an earthquake every day.
Every day. Sometimes more than once a day, because depending on how much you're driving. So yeah, RVs tend to shake themselves to death.
And we learned the hard way that you have to store things that break in drawers, not in cabinets.
Not in cabinets. Don't ask us how we know that. Oh, you're from Jersey. No, we're not from... No. If you were born in 1880 on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, you might say Jersey. That's how the old New York pronunciation was. Nobody says Jersey. That's a cartoon pronunciation of New Jersey. And we say, no, we're not from New Jersey. We're from New Jersey.
We're from New Jersey.
From the nice part of New Jersey.
The nicest.
Probably one of the most frequently FAQs is, what's your favorite place? And number one, it's really hard to say because we have a lot of favorite places.
We do.
And the other thing is there's a video for that. So link in the doobly-doo.
I like to say my favorite place is wherever we are now.
Pretty much. And then the other most frequently FAQ is, what's your favorite brewery? Because as you guys know, that's our thing. We go brewery to brewery. Again, impossible to say.
It's impossible. There's so many great places, so many great breweries.
I can give you...
can't pick one.
This year's top 10. I can give you last year's top 10, and there's video on that as well. So check out the video if you want to know our favorite breweries around the country.
If you have one, send it to us.
Oh, yeah. What's your question? That's a great idea. Put it in the comments, and we will address it. Good?
Good. Cheers.
Cheers.